Make sure that you tune in every Thursday to the Blueprint Live at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. And then you can catch me on Fluent Radio, Philly Jams 95.3, Indie 101.5, and Mixed Talk Media. And I'm available anywhere that you listen to podcasts, okay, and your radio shows. So get on it, okay? Let's do this. I love to connect with you and promote what you got going on. Let's get it. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the Blueprint Live, visit thebpmediaco.com today. We're about to be live. Be sure to follow our amazing sponsors, Fiya Infusion, Tax Strategy, Ask Blue Jay, Lavish Looks by MzMetchi, and Black Dollar Days. And be sure to tune into our other programming throughout the week. All right, y'all, let's get it.
What it do? Your favorite cousin Young Jock checking in. And right now you're tuned into the Blueprint Live with my favorite MzMetchi, all right? Hey, man, you know what it is. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it right here. Chill.
Yo, what's happening in? What's happening in? Oh, it's your boy, $2 Fabo, Bankhead Fabo. Oh, hey, man, check this out. I want y'all to tune in right now to the Blueprint Live with MzMetchi. And I want you to tune in every Thursday at 6:30 Central Time. Ah! Oh, Fabo!
Hey, y'all. Come on in. I got my tea today. When I'm down, so live, the town stuff down, picnics in the park. To bring it in on some mellow vibes, let me tell y'all, I was having technical difficulties coming in for those that are tuning in with us on our Facebook and YouTube. Oh my goodness. But not today though. We're gonna go ahead and rebuke that in the name of Jesus. We're not having no more difficulties tonight. Welcome back to another week of the Blueprint Live. Woo, baby, we made it. It's Friday Eve, and I'm so excited tonight because look, y'all know that I always, of course, I hold a special place in my heart for all of my guests. But you know what I love? Because look, let me tell y'all this. Every time, if y'all notice, before my guests leave, I always say, come back and see me. Make sure that you come back on. Come and let me know what you have going on. And tonight, I'm so excited to welcome back a good friend of the show, a good friend to the Blueprint Media Company, okay? I have Lisa Jenkins joining me tonight, okay? She is, let me tell you all, first off, she's an author, baby, an advocate. Baby, look, she's putting together all types of things. If you don't know Lisa Jenkins, for one, you're going to find out tonight. And for those that do know Lisa, because you all tuned in the first time that she came in on the show, she is back with something that's exciting. It is uplifting. Okay, so I'm always excited to bring my guests back, and that is my special guest for tonight. But look, before we jump in, I got to shout out to everyone that is tuning in through our Facebook and YouTube tonight. If you can, do me a favor, just share it up, share and get the word out. I tell you all, look, put out a call to action anytime you are doing something with your business. And what I am trying to do is, I want y'all to see MzMetchi like in the mainstream, on the billboards. I need your help. Help me share it up. All you got to do is share it. It's free. Okay. We can even get you a little coffee if that's what you need, but it shouldn't have to come down to that. Okay. Share it up and send me your stuff too. Because that reminds me of one thing. You got to drop your business in the comments. Drop it in the comments. If you have a book, you have an event, you have something that's going on that we need to know about, drop it in the comments. Oh, and then let me call out the people. They're like, I don't have a business, MzMetchi. Okay, your friend, family member, a coworker that you see, drop their business. We want to know what they have to offer too. Okay, drop it in the comments tonight. Just get in here. If you see somebody that's tagged, go visit their page. Drop a like, subscribe. It's very easy. You can do it. I don't want to sound like an Everest commercial. I'm just saying we got to lock in. And of course, shout out to my radio partners, Fluent Radio, Philly Jams 95.3, and Indie 101.5. Every Sunday, you all can catch the replay of the Blueprint Live at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on all of their stations. So, after tonight's show, everyone that I mentioned, including my special guest, they will be hyperlinked to our Facebook page. And then, of course, if they have a YouTube, we're tagging that too. So make sure that you go and like and subscribe. That's what it's all about. We're trying to bring it full circle. And for all my people that are on the go, make sure that you tune into the Blueprint Live anywhere that you listen to your favorite shows. Last but not least, shout out to my amazing sponsors, because where would we be without our sponsors? They help me to bring you all the who's who around you, okay, on the Blueprint Live. So shout out to Live Long Health, Copajn Vodka, Pretty Curvy Savage, Paris Ice Bar, and of course, Fiya Infusions. Now today, I gotta keep it real with y'all. And y'all, I don't want my listeners, don't get mad with me, but y'all know we keep it real over here on the Blueprint Live. Today is too many, like I can't narrow down the topic, so we're gonna catch up. I need another catch-up session. I feel like I'm still behind. Okay, so tonight we're going to be catching up. Anything that you want to talk about, drop it in the comments, and I'm going to scroll right back up. We got to get into it tonight, okay? But now it is time for my very special guest. Let me just go ahead. I have to prepare because of course I've talked it up, but I want to go ahead and make sure I have all of her information up here because look, Lisa, if you don't know her, you better know it now. Hold on, let me see. Oh, and we got the link. Hold on. Can I copy this? Lisa, I need you to know I'm going to copy this as soon as... let me get you in here first. First off, I want to go ahead and introduce you all tonight to my special guest. I'm just getting everything lined up here to make sure, because we got to make sure that it's right. But I want to welcome my special guest for tonight, Lisa Jenkins. Hey, Lisa.
MzMetchi, how are you?
I am so good. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Absolutely.
So look, I was telling them, I'm like, look, Lisa is no stranger to the Blueprint Live.
Not at all. I didn't realize it had been 5 years almost to the date, which is crazy.
I was going to share that with them. So look, Lisa and I, before we came on tonight, because I love to get my guests on just a few minutes before I give them to y'all. Because I'm like, look, I want to talk to him. And I did not realize that it was 5 years. 5 years. Time goes by.
It does. Absolutely.
And Lisa, I've been seeing you now. I do want to give them a little bit of a refresher. The last time that you were here with me, I was actually one of the first people that you stopped by to see. That I always hold that dear to me, Lisa. But I was one of the first people that you stopped by on your press tours for the Slip Out app, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I feel like that's a good starting point for us tonight before we go into the new your new workbook. But what's been going on since the release?
So the Slip Out app is an app for victims and survivors of domestic violence. For those of you who do not know, it launched on September 25th, 2020. So in the midst of a pandemic and all of that, MzMetchi Show was one of the first who I launched and announced the app to. Since then, as of today, it's been downloaded in 95 countries over 20,000 times.
Please, Lisa!
Yes. 95 countries over 20,000 times, 25,000 times.
Oh my goodness.
Totally free. It's been in like countries I didn't even know existed. Okay. I bought a globe that's sitting by my TV and I put push buttons in all the countries that it's
Please. Lisa.
Mind blown. So just think, what DVE is here. Imagine if you can even what it's like in other countries.
Lisa, oh my goodness. First off, I'm so proud of you because you know what? For one, it's the resource that you have put together for anyone that's experiencing that. It's not something that we see all the time. We don't see it. We don't see it. So, oh my good, 95 countries, Lisa.
Mind blown. Every time it's a new one, mind blown. You hear me? Because it's like I didn't. Yes, I made it global for a reason, but I just never imagined that it would do that.
So, okay. And I kind of want to like go there for a second as far as, when you were putting everything together and you released the app, like, we all, I think when we, as business owners, we kind of set out and we have an initial goal. What was your initial goal as far as your outreach for the Slip Out app when you first thought about it?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think I had a goal. I think I might have said if I can help to save one person, because you just never know. You know what I mean? And so I didn't. I just put it out there, like it. And as you know, it is more than what it planned to be when I started. It just grew and grew and grew because you know what God does. And so it just went out there, and it took a word of its own, obviously. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I put flyers up occasionally every now and then. If I'm in the grocery store, I'll slide a flyer about the eggs. So like just random stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it continues to get in new countries.
Oh
like
my goodness.
Every week almost.
You must be so proud. Like that. I mean, that's I'm beaming right now because this is the thing, Lisa. Like, you know, I love the fact that when we first met each other, we stayed connected. So I've seen the footwork that you have put in to get the word out about everything. Because this is the thing, Lisa is so multifaceted, you all. Like, you know, for those that are not following her yet, y'all gonna be following her tonight. But, you know, for those that aren't following you, to kind of be on the sidelines and like seeing the journey, Lisa, I'm over here beaming. Like I'm trying to, it's been an emotional week. So I'm just like, okay, we're not going to tear up tonight.
Right. Nope. Not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Yeah. But especially,
no, I'm honored and I appreciate it for sure. Cause you have been there and you've seen me. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm not.
So you were also, when we did talk, I felt like that, you know, you were releasing the app and you were doing all these things to help women, but you were also on your own journey too. Yeah, so absolutely. You know, I love the fact that you just mentioned that you weren't the same. Like, what's been some of the things that, you know, you've worked through over the last 5 years? Because I still can't believe it's been 5 years, but just some of the things that you've navigated as far as, you know, just with everything, business, just being a woman, sickness, everything.
So it's funny you say that because I literally just celebrated the 12-year anniversary of my escape, June 28th.
Okay.
So I've been out 12 years from a 21-year abusive relationship, which is kind of how this came about, the app, long story short. I didn't want anybody to, so just to piggyback, when I got in an abusive relationship, I was leaving a dysfunctional childhood home. So I left one dysfunction for the other, basically. So I didn't know what was going on. Like I wasn't getting physically abused often. It was mainly emotional and mental. So it was normal for me. If it meant, you know, that's the only word I could think of. So I didn't realize. So that's how I was stuck for so long. And then once I finally figured out like this not going to be the rest of my life, we're going to get out of this, then I put together the escape, which is how all of the books and all that came about once the escape happened, because how I did it, my friends were, one of my best friends was like, you gotta let the people know.
And you know what, Lisa, that was one thing I have to be honest with you, just saying that I regret not asking you as far as, because I always like to know this, especially when people are sharing things that are kind of sensitive or it may be taboo to talk about. What was kind of like that defining moment for you where you did feel like, okay, I went through this experience that typically, you know, people aren't talking about as far as like how you can get out? When was that defining moment that you knew that you not only wanted to share your story, but to really help others kind of navigate this?
It wasn't even my doing. My best friend, Anika, since second grade, we had lost contact. And then once I moved back to the city, we reconnected. And she's the one who told me to do this book. The first book was How to Get the F Out. She started that. She started all this. She was like, no, because it was like it's a joke within like my friends. It was like a CIA mission. And she was like, no, you got to let people know this. And so that just like kick started like the whole thing. But to answer your question, I've been in my mother's a narcissist. I've been in an abusive relationship. So I basically been, so from birth to 38, I was living dysfunction. Survival mode. I also had endometriosis for a 15-year period during that time and raising a child.
Oh my God.
And just trying to survive. So all of this. So once we finally left in 2013, I was on my own for the first time in my life. I was 38. So I had to figure all that out by myself and send my child off to college.
Yeah.
100 miles away.
Oh, Lisa.
So
and you know, it's important to share your, oh my goodness, it's important to share your story. Like I love the fact that when we talked before, we were able to like really, really go in depth with some of the things that you experienced, because I think sometimes when people are in a situation like that, they feel like, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you know, they hear stories like yours, and there's, you know, there's some hope that's restored, that it's like, hey, and now you got the resources too, you know?
Right. Yeah. Because when it was happening to me, I didn't know I didn't have a name for it. I knew I didn't like it, but I didn't have a name for it until long after, once I started my healing journey. Then I was like, oh, that's what that was. Oh, okay. It makes sense now. Blah, 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 blah. So absolutely. And I was one of the ones who didn't think I had a story. Because even when she told me to write a book, I'm like, nobody, because I didn't want my story to be what happened to me. I wanted to be how I got out of it. So that was my kind of pushback to her initially, was like, nobody want to hear this. You know what I mean? I don't want to be just another.
We want to know, you know, we want to know.
Yeah. So I gave her the pushback, and then she was like, no, you need to do it. And then, as you've known me over the years, once I get an idea clicking, it just starts clicking. It don't stop clicking until I get it.
And then it's getting marketed and everything. And it's like, okay, we rolling now.
Yep, absolutely. So no, that's all this started 2015-ish.
Okay.
Summer 2015 is where the book started, and just everything. So through my own healing, through my own growth, because I had to learn who Lisa was as a woman, as a mother of an adult child now, as just all of these things. I had to figure out all of that by myself. And then, you know, the saying, God sends you who needs to be there, who you need. And he sent it, sprinkled it here and there over the years, and I got my tribe.
You look, and they locked in.
Look, they don't play about me.
They don't play about Lisa, okay?
They don't play about me.
She don't play about them, baby. Look, okay. I love it. Now, you know, thank you. It was important for me, Lisa, for us to just kind of like take a little walk back as far as we spent 5 years.
I literally didn't think about it until we were on air, and I'm like, because we've run into each other over the years and out in public, but as far as sitting down, it was.
Wow.
I didn't even remember it was the launch. It was a launch. It was the launch of the app. Absolutely.
We got to stop that, Lisa. We got to stop that right now.
We are. We saying it on air. We got to get better.
We're gonna get better. We're gonna close the gap. So look, in closing the gap, you know, today you are here because we are promoting your latest, your newest project. Okay, so for those that don't know, Broken Pieces Made a Whole workbook. Now, is this out already, or is it is this like the pre?
This is the launch.
Okay. Oh,
you ain't know that. It's the launch. This is the official launch.
Well, we gonna break it right here. Okay. So look, I want to know, for one, like all about it. I want to know the inspiration. Like, sis, spill the deets. Give it to me now.
Okay, so I'm announcing on MzMetchi Broken Pieces Made Whole curriculum. It's a 90-day curriculum that I created over the years. Actually, Broken Pieces Made Whole is the title of my 5th and 6th book.
Come on now.
Under the same name. And so that project included a manual, which was abbreviated version of this. And over the years, I've just added to it to make it what it is now. So that's why I kept the name. The name is copywritten and all of that. And I just built on it. And it's a curriculum a 90-day curriculum for women 18 to 30.
Okay. Now, as far as in putting this curriculum together, because 18 to 30, like that range, we done been through some things, you know. So as far as, you know, that outreach for that age group, like, was there something that kind of sparked it where you like, I think these ladies, they could use this 90 days?
Well, so you probably know, but so back in 2019, I changed my career after my daughter graduated from college. Before that, I was in journalism, public relations, all of that. Changed my career totally to become a mental health therapist.
Okay.
So I've been a mental health therapist since 2022. And so since then, I've been working for a nonprofit in the city, and I run clinical groups for young women the same age.
Okay.
So when I was asked to run those groups, I already had the curriculum. So they let
you
me.
Were all set. Yeah. You already like everything laid out.
Yeah. And so just seeing the work that I've been doing with them is it just made sense to launch it to other agencies and schools.
That's right.
Because my ultimate goal in all of this is to prevent young women from either getting into these situations wholeheartedly altogether or avoid being in them for 21 years. So that's my ultimate goal and mission of all the things I've been doing since 2015, even throughout my own healing.
Absolutely. And we got a couple people they saying, hey, Portia. Hey, what's up, Auntie? How you doing? I love them for tuning in. I had the opportunity that I have to pull it out because it literally is on my bookshelf, but I have one of the workbooks. And Lisa, I will say this. I read a lot of books, but I do like that with your workbooks that they're very interactive, and it involves you have to really sit down and you got to put the work in.
Oh, absolutely. I have a motto, you're going to get some healing around here. So in my group sessions and my individual, I'm like, you're going to put in the work. A lot of my clients, they like, Miss Lisa don't play. And I'm like, yeah, because I give them what I needed at the age.
Okay.
Like I needed a me. And
the workbooks, I just, I did want to ask, not so much as like just the inspiration, but just do you find that, I guess, like the feedback that you get from your supporters, that those workbooks are, it's helpful as far as kind of delving a little bit more into closing those gaps of the broken pieces?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's regular everyday stuff. It's identifying adverse childhood experiences. So experiences we had as children, how it can affect us into adulthood. It's dealing with our traumas. It's dealing with self-care routines. It's dealing with mindfulness. It's like everyday things. So anybody can relate to this, but this is the population that I've been super passionate about because I've been there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just a real world curriculum that can help young women, become greater older women.
Lisa, I want to ask you something, and I hope that it's not going too personal, but I know you keep it real, and
absolutely,
it's definitely something that I want to ask. But with you working in the mental health field, and then also having, you shared that you had your own traumas of different things that you've worked through. Mm-hmm. Do you think that you could maybe give some advice to people that work in the mental health field as far as how to kind of keep themselves grounded? Because I would imagine, like, if you've experienced your own things and then you're consistently hearing stories that aren't the most favorable, how do you take care of self? And maybe what advice could you offer those people?
I highly encourage anybody working in the mental health field to get their own therapist. It should be mandatory. It's highly encouraged, but it's not mandatory. So as you said, we need our own place to unpack. Now, I have my village, of course, but I'm not going to unpack, everything with them. So I do have a therapist I talk to at this point twice a month. It was weekly, but now twice a month.
Okay.
And, but yeah, absolutely encourage getting a therapist, creating your own coping skills, whether that's journaling, whether that's exercising, whether that's eating right, whether that's traveling, like whatever the thing is that refills your cup, I highly, highly, highly encourage you do it on a regular basis, because this work is hard. It's triggering. It's like all the things. It's hard, but I love it because it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah. And oh my goodness. Ooh, look, I'm just, I'm always floored. It's like, first off, people like Lisa, they don't even understand like who you are, and you're on here. Like, first off, certified, degree of, okay, like, but your certification is just the population that you help are a lot of the times the ones that it's like they have to they deal with things in silence. You know, when you think about domestic violence, it's very much so something that is like, oh, we shouldn't be talking about this, but it needs to be talked about, you know?
Absolutely. It has to be talked about. It has to be. I even have a separate 30-day DV curriculum that if it's needed that I use. Just like you said, because this needs to be talked about. Just so you're aware. People are aware of, you know, what's out there.
Now, how is everyone able to, you know, get the workbook, you know, as well as your past books as well? Because I feel like they need to really have all of them. But
all the books are on Amazon. The curriculum, I'll share the link with you. You can share that.
Yes.
It's available for purchase for sure.
Hold on. I'm actually trying to I'm trying to copy and paste this because I want to put it in the comments here for all of our people on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. It should be up there. So you all make sure that you go and purchase. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they should see it on their end.
Okay.
Now, what as far as when you do the workbooks, Lisa, because naturally I would imagine you have to kind of work through some things before you put this out to everyone. With the latest workbook, what were some things that you kind of had to confront while you were putting everything together before it was released?
That is a very good question. I had to confront self-doubt. I had to confront ask myself, was I really healed from certain situations?
Yeah.
Because triggers happen. I feel like they're gonna happen no matter what. My triggers have significantly decreased, so I barely have them, thankfully. But things still get to me, and it annoys me at times because it makes me feel like I haven't healed, but I know I have. So I've had to just address some of those bare knuckle things that a lot of us deal with just on a daily basis. Like, okay, do I have capacity to deal with this, or not deal with this, to do this work? You know, and some days I don't, and I had to be real honest with myself. When I don't, then I don't.
Right.
When I don't, I just don't.
And that's it.
Yeah, because I've learned when you try to, and that's just with anything, when you try to push through, it's not your best work. And then especially when you're serving other people, you want them to get the best.
Absolutely.
So if I'm not my best, 9 times out of 10, I'm able to remove myself, or like, okay, get them a day off, or give them out of class assignment, something like that. So to answer your question, I've gotten really in tune with identifying and admitting to myself when I don't have capacity. I've taken the cape off, girl. The cape is gone.
Look, when I tell you, look, if I would have been sounding like, remember when we was messaging, if it would have still been that today, I would have been like, Lisa, you have to get me to next Thursday, because I'm like, I told Lisa this week, I said, I'm over here sounding like Ja Rule.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You're right, and it's so crazy. I think it's like when you have that spirit where you want to serve and you help others, you take that on with you so much that it's like, okay, you have to stop and take a moment here.
Oh, absolutely. And I was that girl even before all this started. I was that person, and I was like, and over the years, it's tiring, it's exhausting. And I'm like, no, you don't have to do this. You can't save everybody, nor should you want to. So exactly. That's one of the things I really had to. That's probably one of the biggest things, to not keep the cape off.
She said, take that cape off.
Yep.
Take the cape off. Now, I do have a question. This is my aunt here. She said, how did you get rid of the triggers?
It took a lot of work. It's not one thing I did, but I did the work with my therapist and healed through all kind of things. Some I was aware of, some I wasn't aware of, and just over time, they just decrease. So it's like when you know.
That's right.
You know,
they don't bother you as much. You know,
right.
you like,
absolutely.
I'm not as reactive to this as I used to be. And
it happens in the moment because you expect, like, because you're so used to reacting a certain one way, but then when you don't, you're like, wait, okay, I'm actually good.
Yeah, like let me tap into this a little bit.
Yeah, but it absolutely, and my therapist says all the time, she has to remind me, like, you have the skills, like you got this. You have to do the work. It's no way around it. You have to do the work on yourself, and whatever that looks like for you is what you have to do.
100%. You know, with your with the latest workbook, Lisa, if you had the opportunity to put this in the hands of every woman that you know, a young girl, what is like the one thing, or just like a couple things? I'll give you a couple that a couple of the things that you would want these women to walk away with by going through this workbook.
I would want them to walk away with, I am not my past. That is a really good question. I'm not my past. I deserve ...
Do y'all hear that? Somebody tell them again, Lisa. What?
I deserve ... That's it. That's it.
That, to me, that's the mantra for the rest of the week. I deserve. Now it could be, I deserve 3 steak tacos. ...
Whatever your I deserve is, and because you have to remember. Well, let me backtrack. As a society, a lot of times, a lot of us live for others, or think we have to do certain things because somebody else did it.
Yeah.
No, you don't. I used to be the same way, so I can speak on it. You do not. Whatever the thing is or things you want to do, you can absolutely do. If it doesn't work, okay. You tried it. It didn't work.
Right. That's the end of it. Right.
I went to grad school at 47.
No way.
My daughter graduated undergrad.
She meant 37, y'all.
No, 47. I'm 50. I made 51 in April.
Girl, get off here. Playing on my live now. Get out of here, Lisa.
I promise.
Immediately. You know what? The only reason why we're gonna allow it is she did say that she sent her son off to school. Okay, so we know some numbers is numbering, but they not. It's not competing for me.
And I get that reaction from everybody. It's so funny. But no, my daughter. It was my daughter actually. Yep. My daughter graduated from undergrad in 2018. That next year, actually, she graduated that May or June. That August, I was like, I think I want to go to grad school, change my career. And I punked out because I had to do a group interview. And as much as I don't like talking in public. I still don't. I'm better at it now because I probably cried on your show. But we don't do that no more. So
that's okay. We go through all the emotions over here. I be crying too, girl.
So the next year, I sat on it for a whole year. The next year, 2019, August, God was like, you ready yet? I don't know, am I? I went, I applied August, maybe 20 something. I got in September 7th, classes started the 18th. Like it was like less than a 30-day process.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I started grad school totally changed my career.
Lisa, I tell you what, I want everybody to get for everybody that's tuning in, I want them to get a great look at Lisa. Y'all see what minding your mental health, drinking water, and taking
business.
Okay, minding your business, getting your therapy, okay, doing the inner work. Do y'all work, okay? This is what it could look like for you, okay? Come on now. Mind your business, y'all, okay? Lisa, you done blew me away today. I'm like, what? And you've been saying, like, you've been like dropping little, girl, I cannot. So look, it's been an exciting summer. We're in the Chicagoland area. So, I feel like we've been talking about the workbook and we're totally excited for that. But like, are there some other things that we can look forward to from your brand? I mean, you do so many things. What can we look forward to and how can we support you?
Right now, just support and share the information about the curriculum. That's the current project.
Okay. Yeah. Look, we're going to do that because that link, I'm also going to share it on the Blueprint Live, and everyone that tunes in, they're going to be able, y'all make sure y'all go and follow Lisa, go and follow her business page. Because look, I told y'all Lisa do a little bit of everything.
I do.
You do. Because I feel like we didn't even talk about. I mean, can we tap on KRA communication?
Well, KRA communication is not defunct, but I shifted the focus from PR and DV to counseling and DV.
Perfect. So look, get the workbook basically. Now y'all better get the workbook immediately.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, yes.
I'm so glad that you came and spent some time with me tonight.
Absolutely.
And if you could, before you leave, let them know where they can follow you.
So on Facebook, Lisa Jenkins. On Instagram, I am lisa.jenkins/KRA.
And I think you were about to say something, but we kind of synced up. What were you
what was that? Oh, no, I was saying when I was launching it and figuring out like press release and all that, I was like, where am I gonna do this at? And I was like, ooh, my girl. Because I sent the email and I'm like, I sent you a Facebook message. I'm like, are you still? I need in. So yeah. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you for thinking of me, because I like when I saw it, I'm like, girl, when you releasing that? That's why I was you probably said it on there, but I don't remember.
I may have. I can't remember, but yeah. So this is the official going out to the world.
I am so thankful for the exclusives, like Lisa, for real. And then look, this is the thing. We got to talk about it and bring it in on the MzMetchi show that's coming out August 18th. Because with season 2, we gonna wrap.
Absolutely.
We gotta get that together. So make sure look, y'all will be seeing Lisa again, because see, I love when my people come back. We gonna always rock. We gonna always rock.
Always and forever.
Always. Well, Lisa, thank you so much again. We're gonna be supporting and sharing that link up so that everybody can get their workbook, because we got 90 days.
Listen, you'll be I swear, and I'm not saying this because I made it. You'll be better for it. I promise.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna grab my copy tomorrow when it's payday, Lisa. I gotta get my copy tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. I know Lisa coming back. So I ain't even got to tell you. You already know. You come back and see me.
I will, for sure. Absolutely.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye. Y'all make sure, look, I got the link in the comments for those that are tuning in. Now, look, I have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to be hopping into tonight's Hate It and Love It. So what I want you all to do is, hey, let me know what you all are hating and loving this week. I need to know. And for those, if you kind of caught the tail end, because I saw y'all trickling in and out, if you caught the tail end of my interview, my exclusive interview, very exclusive. We got an exclusive tonight from Lisa Jenkins. Okay, again, let me just go back one time so that you all know what you're going to be purchasing with that link in the comments. This is the Broken Pieces Made Whole workbook. Okay, your past is not your future. I need you all to get this in your repertoire. Let's start doing the inner work. The link is in the comments, and we'll be right back after this break.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you could treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Be sure to shop Pretty Curvy Savage, where style meets comfort, and you can be bold and be fierce. This plus-size clothing line is everything that you need in your closet, ladies. So be sure to visit prettycurvysavage.com and use promo code MzMetchi10 for your special discount. Okay, bye. All right, y'all. It's time for Hate It and Love It. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi, and it's time for tonight's Hate It and Love It. Okay. So you all know every week when I'm putting together my notes and everything for the show, of course, I, research the news articles and just different things. And I know we're not on what's happening, what's up, but I'm going to include this particular story in my hated it because I don't like people that steal, but I don't like people that steal from the kids, from the kiddos. Okay. Police in South Suburban Robbins, Illinois are searching for burglars who stole over $12,000 of football equipment from the Cow Park Eagles. Y'all have to be some type of evil to steal $12,000 worth of equipment from children. Let me say it again. That's the hated it in case y'all didn't know. That story was real sad to me because for one, look, if you grew up in the South Suburban area. So you know how like in Chicago, they'd be like, oh, don't go over here or don't go over there. It's just, these neighborhoods are known for this or known for that, or, be careful over in this neighborhood or do different things. Some of the communities in the South Suburban area are, it's some disproportion there as far as like funding and, just different resources as far as for certain municipalities in the South Suburban area. And unfortunately, Robbins, Illinois is one of those. So the simple fact that they stole so much equipment, and it's just like, who is going to get that back for the kids? We talk about how the children and how the youth, they need positive things and positive outlets and all that other stuff. And then you have people that go and do thievery type of things. I'm making up words. It's the thievery for me. I don't like it. Stop stealing from the babies. Whoever has it, I hope that they find them. 1. 2, I hope that they find the equipment. Because anybody that's buying that equipment, or if it's a rival team or whoever, because my whole thing is whoever was behind it, there was some adults involved. That wasn't just no kids. There was some adults involved. It was somebody that was of age that knew better. And they decided that they didn't want to do better. That's the hated it. The love it is that, oh my goodness. I am in the midst of 3 rollouts right now. Okay. Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, we have the Copajn, a toast to taste with Copajn Vodka. Now, I'm not drinking tonight because I'm drinking my tea tonight. I'm trying to get my voice back. I was sounding like Ja Rule, okay? But I needed my voice back for tonight because I was like, me and Lisa, we got to chat it up. I'm like, I need a voice. So that's the first thing. The MzMetchi show is coming out August 18th. I'm excited to announce the my first set of guests and get all of them together. I'm super, super excited. Like, it's really, I'm so ready, y'all. And then of course, the last love it is that the next LinkedIn Lit Brunch is October 11th. From last week up until now, I've already sent out my things. I need y'all to know that the LinkedIn Lit Brunch was, oh my goodness, the people in that room, my heart is still so very, very like overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed with just the amount of love. And then what's even more overwhelming is the fact that now, y'all, I have not even finished the official flyer for everything. I'm still getting things together, and I already got a lot of the people locked in place. They like, yeah, girl, we doing. A lot of my vendors that was with me and my people the first time, they like, we coming back. Exquisite Souls, they need some more shrimp and grits, baby. Yes. Potions by P is here. My beautiful co-host. You know what I'm saying? We are hosting together. We have curated a toast to taste. Okay. She gonna have the drinks flowing. Yes. The people are coming back. We about to have a good time. Okay. So that's the love it. The love it is that I have been able to, get all of these things together while also, still being meaningful and impactful at work. My 9 to 5, my tenants, they loving the events. They're loving the stuff that we're putting together. We got new partners, new vendors, new everything, and even like, look, today, shout out to Kim G. She came out and pulled up on me. But, today we were able to, get my client book. Shout out to MH. He did the Chicago Ducky Derby today. They dropped the little duckies in the river today. Okay, for the Special Olympics. Okay, shout out to Jewel Osco, all the sponsors. Like, baby, they had it going on outside today, right on Michigan Avenue. And, to be able to be a part of a lot of these phenomenal events, these initiatives where it's just like, we are really in the community for real. We are really in the community for real. So that's the love it. That's the love it. There's so many beautiful things that are going on and that are happening. And I will just say this, and I can say it very confidently, the relationships and the things that we're trying to build, where we're trying to go. First off, I do want to take a moment to shout out all of the event partners for A Toast to Taste that agreed to come together with us. I don't want to get to naming no names because I always forget everybody, but our media team that's going to be there, like, it's literally, this is going to be a movie, very cinematic, you should be there. You should be dressed to the nines, ready to go. That's what it is. We are trying to do things and really putting ourselves on the map, which brings me to my hated thing. I lightly shared some things with you all. I think it was last week or maybe the week before that, about how, as someone, I've had my show, I've done the Blueprint Live now. We're at 6 years. 6 years. And y'all know it's always a joy for me to bring people onto my platform. And, so much so that, like, look, my friends give me their music first. Lisa just launched her workbook. I'm like, the workbook is out. And, she made the announcement on my show, like, these are people, we really rock with each other. But I was sharing with you all that it's been a little bit of a challenge for me, even though I have my platform and I extend it to everyone, to kind of get that press for myself, right? It's been a little bit of a challenge for me. And, I would say that that's the hated it. The hated it is that, I reached out and, I reached out to an array of people, just putting it out there and like, hey, let's, I'd love to get that together. And y'all, look, MzMetchi got curved a little bit, just a little bit. And I can share that with you all honestly, because it happens, right? You're going to have certain doors and different things that you might knock on and they're not necessarily meant for you, right? Like they just, without a shadow of a doubt, it's not meant for you. But I will say this to close out for tonight's Hated and Love It, that the love it from that particular hated it, as far as just, I'm looking at people that, that I've supported and just, done it from the heart. I'm like, you my people, I rock with you. Leave stuff on red, not respond, do the different things. And I'm just always like, wow, it's so unfortunate because, it's very rare within our industries that we meet other genuine people that they want to see you win, right? Like everybody that I come across, I want to see you win. I don't have to know you to want to see you win. But the love it that comes from that is that sometimes I'm not going to get preachy, but I'll say this. I know that God allowed me to see certain things as far as now, the shoe is on the other foot. I am now the person that's trying to promote. I'm trying to do those things. But God reminded me of this. Nothing or no one will ever stop the motion. They'll never stop the motion. That's it. They will never stop the motion. So people may feel like, we talked about gatekeepers. We talked about those things and, people, they try to dangle different things over you or, or try to, act like that they have advantages and stuff because they put themselves in competition with people that actually love them. Ooh, talk about it, right? Nothing or no one will ever stop your motion. Nothing or no one will ever stop the word getting out about what it is that you're doing and the impact that you're trying to make, right? So although it's been a little bit of a challenge to maybe get local press for what I'm doing with the MzMetchi show, with the LinkedIn Lit Brunch and all this other stuff, let me tell you how nothing or no one will stop the motion. Okay? Nothing. And I hope that for anyone that's tuning in, if you feel like you're in some spaces, you've reached out, you've applied for a job, you're looking, you're trying to be a part of a different program or whatever the case is, and you feel like that these doors are not opening. For one, it may not be your door. It may not be in alignment. Okay. But what we have to do in this season is not take things like that personally. What's up, David? Tuning in from Cedar Hill, Texas. Okay. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to preach to y'all, but I just feel like I want to, just give you a word as far as what's been going on, because the one thing that I feel like that has helped me to continue to keep going on with my show and not stop is the fact that it's like, hey, we're going to be transparent and we're going to keep it real over here. Everything that glitters is not. Okay. It's just not. And when certain doors don't open for you, it's okay. It just means that might not be your door. It may not be in alignment. And for every local platform that turned me, away or didn't respond or didn't do anything or whatever the case is, what's so beautiful about it? It was those contacts and those people outside of the local area and all that other stuff that they have a genuine interest and they shared it. And these are people that I don't even know. I'm getting messages and DMs because they just shared it on their story and all this other stuff. And I'm like, how the hell did you see this? Like, this is just how it goes, right? Nothing or no one will ever stop your motion. That is the love it. Okay, there is nothing that can stop it 9 times out of 10, but you and whoever it is that you praise. They'll put a halt to it if it's not good for you, not good for your spirit, if it's not with good intent. But whatever is for you will always be for you, and nothing or no one can stop your motion. So if you have some things that you're doing, you need to get the word out or whatever the case is. Y'all know y'all can always come to MzMetchi. And if MzMetchi can't go to nobody else, MzMetchi gonna always get the word out about whatever it is that she has going on. And that's what you know me for. Okay? We're gonna talk a little bit of ish tonight. I think we can do it because why not? I mean, okay? I just had to share that with y'all. That was just what was on my spirit. Nothing or no one will ever stop your motion. Hold on to it, clock it, and get in tune. We will be right back after this break. What would you do, y'all? Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Okay. I'm just giving it to you straight. We'll be right back. Or maybe not.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Let's get into today's What Would You Do? Where we're talking about real situations with real people and offering real solutions.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. What is going on in the comments? David, success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to become the best. Come on now. Drop a word for us, David. Drop a word for us. Hey, Lisa. Okay, Lisa's still tuning in. Y'all, our special guest for tonight. Y'all better make sure y'all grab the workbook. I have the link in the comments. Let me go ahead and put it on the screen. Get it together now, okay? Tonight's What Would You Do? I'm putting a trigger warning on top of it. This does deal with a little bit of I'm just gonna read it, you guys. I'm just here to read it, and then we're gonna talk about it. I need some advice, or maybe just to vent. My husband wants a divorce over something that happened 20 years ago. We were young, and I came from a previous abusive relationship. So long story short, He came home drunk one night after dealing with something major and took it out on me sexually. Still to this day, I defined it as SA. I'm not going to say it. It first started off as consensual, but as he was going too far, I couldn't get away. I cried and pleaded and said, stop. I never changed how I felt about that. But 20 years later, he said that he can't be with me if I believe that it wasn't just rough sex. And he can never touch me again. He said he never thought that I was serious when I said that before. But since I believe it, he can no longer be married to me. Am I wrong here? I'm so confused. I haven't brought this up in 15 years. And he brought it up because we were watching a show where they said that you can't SA your wife because you're married. What would you do? This one's pretty deep. This one's pretty deep. Let's take this one in. Let's take this one in. Okay, so I'll for those, I see a few of you all trickling in. So for tonight's What Would You Do? Her and her husband, they have been, this is an incident that happened 20 years ago where some intimate time, it got a little bit too rough. She asked for him to stop. He did not, and she said that she qualified that as an assault. He said that if she genuinely believed that, he apparently didn't believe her when she said it the first time. He said that if she did not believe that, then he was not going to be able to continue the relationship. So she's asking, what should she do in the situation? God, need a little sip here. Okay. Jeez. David Knight, he said it's hot here and I'm feeling that Texas heat. Oh my goodness. Well, look, don't be talking about it because then the heat gonna want to come over here. Thank you. We're good, David. Thank you. Stay over there. You stay over there in the Texas heat. Do not be sending us no more extra degrees. Okay. We're good over here, David. We're sending you air conditioning. We're sending you AC. Send that to our friend out in Cedar Hill, Texas. Okay. But tonight's What Would You Do? This is the thing, sis. As far as with this, what would you do? It's important for you not to retract how you feel, right? If you felt like that what happened that night, that was something that you weren't comfortable with, you can't stray away from your own truth here. Okay. Before I go any further, let's talk about it. Let's see. Dad said time for a divorce. This is one of those situations where without some intense intervention, it may potentially be a little bit far gone, because it's like, how do you feel comfortable? I think from either side, she said that she never changed how she felt about that. That's a hard one. Let's see. Lisa said that's unfortunate on both sides. Since it seems that his feelings matter more than hers, he should absolutely divorce. She isn't safe there. Yeah, it's, for me, this is what we have to understand. And this is not even just about marriage. I think that it's for any type of relationship, be it if it's platonic or romantic, right? There are going to be times where you may hurt, offend, or do something to your person, again, whether this is a friend or whomever. And when you hurt someone or you have made them feel some things that are adverse, right? You don't get to decide if you did that or not, unless it's like something where it's just like, you slapped me at 3:53 on Tuesday afternoon. And it's just like, I don't think that's impossible, because I was in Cancun. I was not I wasn't even in your area. I wasn't around you. Like, unless it's something like that can be, we can debunk this very quickly. If someone says that you did something to hurt them or to cause some type of pain, you don't get to decide that, like, how you feel kind of trumps it. Now, what you can do as a collective is come together and figure out, okay, that wasn't my intent, and I apologize. Like, it should have been met with apologies and maybe not divorce. because that probably could have closed out a lot of things. Like, hey, I wasn't aware that of whatever. But I think the thing that was the most striking for me, and Lisa, the fact that you mentioned that she isn't safe there. She said, I haven't brought it up in 15 years. And he brought it up because we were watching a show where they said that you can't sexually assault your wife because you're married. So if they're going to be divorcing for anything, it's probably going to be for more of like their ideals and how they handle things are extremely off. Clearly, they're not in alignment whatsoever, right? So, you know, emotionally and mentally, she's absolutely not safe there because, you know, if someone feels like that they can just kind of come and take it from you with no remorse, no apology, nothing. I would have to agree. You know, that's an unsafe environment. Let's see. Auntie Tracy says sometimes God closes doors to open up others. Maybe that was a sign. So, Auntie Tracy, you think that the television show like that might have been kind of like a signal? Because I would imagine that if this is something that happened 20 years ago and she was still able to hold down the fort and be in the relationship and still show up even after she felt like that she was assaulted by her husband, you know, I would say that would speak to something as far as like she had to kind of put that in her mind. But yeah, him saying that he doesn't believe that you can do that. Like, you know, if someone does not want to sleep with you, it doesn't matter what your relation is to them. They don't want to sleep with you. I don't know. This was a hard one. She said that's the private thoughts that we don't say. Lisa added that he got defensive. Yeah, you know, for me, I would just be looking at like the lack of empathy with the situation. You know, on top of the fact that it's like you already violated in the first place. Now you violated twice. Look at you. Like winner, chicken dinner here. What's going on? You know, I just, the fact that he immediately moved to divorce in this situation, that's a little bit baffling to me. Because I tell you what, look, straight up, let's keep it real. Y'all know MzMetchi likes to keep it a buck. If my spouse comes and tells me, in which y'all know men don't typically do this, but like, you know, like, hey, you hurt me, you know, in some type of way or whatever the case is. My first thought is not going to be, let's get the papers drawn up. Let's get the papers drawn up. I'm done. Like, I'm not going to leave. If anything, it's like, I want to understand, how can we make this better? What can we do? You know, what is it that you need potentially to feel supported in the situation? You know, I want to know, how can I avoid hurting you again? That's how it's supposed to be. And it should be that way for husbands with their wives. Like if your wife comes to you and says like, hey, you hurt my feelings when you ... Y'all heard what Lisa said earlier. I deserve ... Like I deserve that if I tell my husband I feel like that you violated in a certain type of way, that you're not going to immediately jump to leaving me, but jump to trying to fix it. And even if it's not fixing, like granted, it was 20 years ago, but just saying like, hey, I had no intent to hurt you or to do you wrong. I apologize. Is it that hard to apologize? Like you would rather leave your over 20-year relationship and not work it out? Baby, you've been wanting to go. And it probably was what she thought it was. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm sorry. Auntie Tracy said dude was holding that in. He was trying to find a reason to get out. Boom. Yep. He like, this is going to be it. This is the one here. This is going to get her. Yeah, absolutely. Sis, you ultimately asked as far as this, what would you do? What would I do? Now, first off, the first thing that MzMetchi is going to do, I'm going to hold firm in the fact of if that was what my experience was, that's what my experience was. If my partner was willing to not just so much as see it my way, because if he genuinely was not trying to cause you no ill intent, he's not going to be able to see it that way. But if he is willing to take some ownership and work with me and have some conversations on How can we make sure that anything that we do with us is forever consensual? I'm probably gonna stay and try to work on my marriage, right? Even with the transgressions, there may need to be a therapist, there may need to be something or whatever the case is. But let me tell you, the way that this man is acting up and in the way that he want to leave you because he violated you and you felt the way about it, sis, let it go. Let it go. You want to have someone that's trying and that's meeting you halfway mentally and emotionally. It's no fun being in a relationship where there's no love that's reciprocated. There's no understanding. There's no compassion. There's no apologies. There's no acknowledgement of your feelings. I can tell you as someone that's been in that situation before, it sucks. Unrequited love at any capacity does not feel good. It does not matter whatever type of relationship it is. It does not feel good. And especially with your spouse. And if you're telling them that they hurt you and their first step is to leave, let them go. That's what I would do in the situation. If you're going to leave me after you hurt me, bye. Bye. And baby, let me tell you this. I done left before and got left before. Okay, look, let's keep it real. We all have to go on a journey. We've all had to go on journeys, okay? You know, sometimes you believe and sometimes you get left. It just happens. That's the luck of the draw. But if he wants to leave and he can't acknowledge how you feel, you still stay down for 20 years. Imagine that. He left just because he's threatening to leave and wants to divorce you because you told him that he hurt you. But he hurt you 20 years ago and you stayed down. Girl, if you don't go and be loyal to who you're supposed to be with, he may not be it, sis. And I'm all for keeping the unit together. But as soon as somebody wants to sever the ties, let them. Let them. One of the most powerful things and mantras is that those two words, the let them theory. Just to to let them. Instead of trying to control the outcomes, let people dig their own grave, right? The person that loves you is not going to treat you like that. The person that loves you would be so unresolved for making you feel things and experience things that you're not supposed to experience. Especially your spouse. This is the person that you became one with. So if you hurt me, you're hurting your damn self. Right? At least that's how it's supposed to be. So what would I do in this situation, sis? Let him go. Let them. If he wants to walk out because all you did was just call to action the fact that you can absolutely sexually assault your wife or somebody. If he wants to leave because he doesn't want to take accountability for hurting you, let him. Let him go, sis. And that's okay. You honored what you were supposed to do on your side. Kudos to you. 20 years after a violation like that, because understand, if that wasn't your man and you wasn't tied to him, you wasn't married to him, you would have blocked him when you left that experience. If not, reported it to the police, got him arrested, got him jailed. Okay. I don't know. For me, I let him leave. Let me get to these comments. She said, bingo. David said she needs to move on. Absolutely. David also added, life's trying to teach her something. See ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya. Let him go. Yeah, I just self-love is gonna always feel much better. It will. And sometimes we stay in situations longer than what we're supposed to. And honey, we've all been the victim of that. Who stayed for longer than they were supposed to? Who overstayed they welcome from time to time? We've all been there. It doesn't matter if you're young or old. It can happen to any of us. Any of us. Or we could be with somebody that's so darn toxic that you don't even recognize it until you get out of it, that it's just like this. Lisa is on here. I don't know if she's still in the chat with us, but just, even hearing like her accounts where it's just like, you're in the midst of this. You're in the midst of these behaviors that are bad and they don't feel good. And it's just like somewhere along the lines, you were taught that this was okay, or that you were taught that it's like you had to kind of go within yourself or go privately to deal with whatever it was, and and to live around or amongst the person that's hurting you the most. And then, you know, the crazy part about it is that most of the time, because we've all been in some situations and we had some chapters we don't like to read out loud, but most of the time, the people that hurt us are the people that we may look to validate how we feel, to validate the experience, like, or to not even validate, but to acknowledge whatever it was that they put you through, whether if it's sexual assault, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, whatever it is, the person that hurt you, you are looking at them like, do you see me? And the 9 times out of 10, they don't see you. And if they doing that stuff to you, they don't even see themselves. Get out while you can. Sounds like that he's going to go ahead and leave first. Let him. That's how we're going to wrap it up tonight, okay? Auntie Tracy says, self-preservation is the first law of nature. Absolutely. Safe preservation. Nothing hurts more than being disappointed by the one person who you thought would never hurt you. Come on now. You like, wait a minute, I love you. Like, imagine that. Imagine somebody, he did that to her 20 years ago, and she still stayed around. And in the moment that she expressed her hurt or disappointment, he decided that it was time for him to get out of there. Imagine that. Like, damn, you want to hurt her twice? Look, we're going to stop looking to the people that did bad things to us or oppressed us or offended us and did anything in any type of way for any type of healing. We have to get that separately. It's just like when you get a toy and you got to go get the batteries. Batteries sold separately. Sis, let him. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be hopping into tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. I don't have a lot of celebrity tea, but I do have some news that I think that you guys could possibly use. Be right back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Them more mistakes are gone, I won't do them no more. That's old news, that's new news, I done did that before. I turn nothing to something, my comeback on 100. Let's talk it, more action, you just gon' see coming. I just keep elevating, no losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings, I turn that into money.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you could treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. Time to get into what's happening and what's up in these streets. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let me go over here in these comments. What y'all? Binky. Yeah. First off, if y'all don't know who Binky is, House of Binky, okay? She is, okay? She is House of Binky. Dress designer extraordinaire, okay? Binky, everybody. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for tuning in with me, girl. Yes, he said he's speaking facts. Okay, look, y'all been going off in the comments. That what would you do was a lot. Now, moving into tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. Got a few things. It's a lot of foolishness. So y'all remember actor Dean Cain? He was known for his 1990s role in Superman, the TV series. Y'all, why did he just announce that he's trying to join the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement? He's going to become an ICE agent. Do y'all hear me? He's going to become an ICE agent. He announced this. Is everybody okay? Let me just sip my tea that may or may not have some hit in it. I don't know. Celebrities just must get a little bored. I think he's a little bit bored. We're not going to spend too much time on that, but I'm just like this. Shouldn't you still be getting some royalties? Is somebody playing the reruns? Can somebody help him out so he don't go out here and make a darn fool of himself? Help me out, please. Next story for tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. Y'all get a kick of this, okay? There is a company named Frida. Frida. Frida, okay? And they have just released an ice cream that has the flavor of breast milk with the tagline of just like mom used to make. Excuse me? Who is going to be buying breast milk flavored ice cream? Is everybody okay out there? Hello? We're looking for you guys. What's going on? Yes, I'm laughing out loud as well because I'm trying to figure out who and why. Who thought that this was okay? Breast milk flavored ice cream? I guess there's a thing for everyone. Okay. Now I do a lot of work, of course, within the Chicagoland area. So I don't know if you all are aware of the different restrictions for drone usage, in the world or in the United States, at least. So the FAA, they're in the midst of proposing to ease the restrictions for drones. So you can fly them around. You don't need all of these permits and stuff. Do you all know that just alone in the city of Chicago, they make them have $3 million of insurance to use a drone in the city? It's so much. You really only see it with your higher end boutique photography agencies and stuff like that. It's so much. But they're going to be easing a lot of those restrictions and making it where it's going to be easier to fly a drone around. So I don't, for all my drone heads, I know a couple people that have some. So I just figured I'd share that with you all. They finally about to let up on you so you can come and fly your drones. You can come fly them at our event. Come fly your drone, okay? Next up, the NFL is banning the use of smelling salts during games, okay? They're saying that the products aren't proven to be safe and it could potentially mask signs of a concussion. So I, was looking into this. I'm like, okay, I have seen the little sniffity sniffs, wondering what's going on there. I'm not a sports girl, but apparently, people are upset that they're banning this. And I'm like, don't you guys want them to be happy and healthy? Don't you all not want them to walk around with CTE and all of that stuff? I'm all for anything, especially if it's going to mask something bigger that's going on. We're not doing that. Get rid of the salts. Get rid of it. David said, I feel like this is impossible because breast milk tastes based on what you eat that day. How do you know that, David? I'm just joking. I'm messing with you. How do you know that? How do you know that? Did a baby tell you what it tastes like? Okay. Funny thing is, I think there are some people that would probably be interested in that, surprisingly. I guess they're the real freaks of the industry. Clock it. Now, I don't know if you all been hearing about this. And if I say anything wrong, please forgive me. I'm here to learn. But 3 people have died and at least 67 people have been infected as a cluster of Legionnaire's disease cases in New York continue to spread. Okay. Legionnaire's disease. What's going on? What is that? Okay. Now they got the harsh pneumonias and people are passing away from it. I need for us to be on alert. it's some things going on. Now, first off, look, if you all live in the Chicagoland area, you know, we've been having some days where the air quality has been piss poor. When we think about pneumonia, we think about our respiratory systems and all that other stuff. This is something that, like, look, although it's in New York, things spread fast, putting you on high alert, okay? That's what's going on with that. Now, another thing that, again, I don't mean to be the person that's bearing bad news this week, but it's something that, like, this could impact the elderly, you know, people with disabilities. So the RTA is trying to, you know, do some things to cut a lot of things with pace, okay? They're making drastic cuts across the board where trips for pace riders are going to be decreased. They're increasing the rate for it. So instead of it being $2, it's $3.25. Okay, instead of them being able to get 240 trips, they'll only be able to get 30. So basically, you're saying only appointments and maybe to the store. Why are they doing this, y'all? It's first off, it's too much. It's too much. And you know what? Again, these are the stories of things that are kind of going on around us that it may not impact you right now, if you know, but if you have a family member or someone like that is at risk, they need help, you work, you're not able to always get around. This is going to impact those people. We have to remember that, okay? We have to remember that. Now, I think I had one more for you guys. Hold on. I had one more. For all my Real Housewives of Atlanta fans, did y'all know, or not Atlanta, Potomac, did y'all know Mia Thornton was dating Bobby Valentino? Oh, come on now. Mia says she's like, I'm done with ink. It's Bobby Valentino for me. Yeah. David said she died from a rare cancer. He said, I was in shock because this young actress was great on Walking Dead. I actually saw that story too. I did see that story this week, David. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. It's just, you know what? We just got to stay alert, stay healthy. And, you know, if we end up having to mask up, y'all better not act a fool like how y'all did over the mask. Do not act a fool this time. We're not doing that. Now, last thing to close this out for tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. This is for any of my listeners. If you all have teams that use ChatGPT, there was a new study that was done by the Associated Press, okay, and it shed light on some of ChatGPT's alarming interactions with teenagers, okay. In this particular study, they put in some different prompts related to things like, you know, suicide, things of that sort. And y'all, ChatGPT not only was writing suicide letters, but it was giving full-on accounts of how you can, you know, go to end of life, okay? If you all are using AI or your children are using AI, just be mindful, be vigilant in this season, okay? Because some of the things that I read are just some of the accounts as far as what the ChatGPT, what it was generating. You know, when we think about our youth, they're facing some different challenges when they go out, the bullying, cyberbullying, all of these things that we didn't really have to worry about in our times. But, you know, if they're feeling low and they're putting in certain things, it certainly didn't seem like ChatGPT was giving them something good back. So be mindful, be mindful. That's all I have for you for tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. When I come back, we're going to hop into our topic and, you know, we're going to keep it real brief tonight. Be right back.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Be sure to shop Pretty Curvy Savage, where style meets comfort, and you can be bold and be fierce. This plus-size clothing line is everything that you need in your closet, ladies. So be sure to visit prettycurvysavage.com and use promo code MzMetchi10 for your special discount. Okay, bye.
Learn more about MzMetchi today. She's an entrepreneur, host of the Blueprint Live, media personality, professional brand ambassador, brand talent manager, commercial real estate professional, event host, beauty and fashion influencer, marketing and promotions professional. Learn more about MzMetchi by visiting MzMetchi.com for more information.
Now it's time for the Blueprint Live's topic of the day. Let's get into it.
Woo! Welcome back. Maybe we have reached the end. Okay, we've reached the end. But tonight's topic, look, how about this? We catching up again because guess what? I don't have a topic. You know what? I was going to fake the funk and like just come up with some stuff. But look, there has been a few things. So I was talking with my best friend before I started getting ready for the show. And we were talking about the stuff with like Cash Doll and her new dude and Tracy, her ex, and how, her new dude checked him about, commenting on their pictures and all that other stuff from the wedding and everything. He, called him out like, hey, you need to come with some school supplies, some tuition. Okay. Honey, so look, the question I was I was asking my friend, I'm like, look, I want to pose it tonight to my listeners. Like, should significant others have, some say, or, are you okay with the public outcry when the other parent isn't doing what they need to do? Right? Like, so if you're a step parent, are you okay with putting the other parent on blast? Because baby, her new man read him to filth. Was reading them, and it was real quick, real swift, real in and out. Now, my bestie did bring up, she said, she was like, that's for husbands and wives only, not girlfriends and boyfriends. She said that the only problem that a lot of people had was that's Cash Doll's boyfriend and everything. And you know what? I agree with her. So that was from Kim G. She probably had to hop off. My sister's been busy today. But I agree with that. And then I will also, on the other side, I watched this show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. And there's a guy on there named Ken. He's taking care of Trish and her two kids. And he's her husband, but he's an estranged husband. He keeps like coming around and everything. And, but it's like Ken is handling up. He's handling the business. He's taking care of Trish and the kids, right? So it's just like, okay, they living in his house. He taking care of things. He big dog. She don't want no puppy. She want a big dog. Does he not get a say because he's not a husband, but he's taking care and funding everybody? It's a real tough line. It's a tough line, a very tough line. But it's definitely one that I feel like you got to kind of tap into it. You have no other choice but to tap into it. So I want to know from you all, like, how do y'all feel? I mean, can they have a say? Should they have a say? I think so. I don't know. I'm more so interested in what you all think, though. So drop that in the comments. That was the first thing. But, another thing that I've been seeing, people moving on. I love to see it. Whether if it's moving on from a toxic relationship, a bad job, just, you moving out of your complex because it's too much drama for your mama. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So those are the things, in the catching up, I am ready. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm ready for these things that I'm rolling out because you know what I'm looking forward to? I know that it's hot outside and we still enjoying the summer, but y'all, I'm low-key looking forward to the holidays. Shh, don't tell nobody. Shh. Don't tell anyone that even though I don't want snow, I kind of want to put my Christmas tree back up. Skip Halloween. I'll take Thanksgiving, but that's genuinely what I want. That's genuinely what I want. So those are just some of the things that have been floating in my mind. Like, I'm really excited about the things that are to come. We'll be back next week. Next week, I don't have a guest. It'll just be us. But y'all know, I love when it's just us too, but I definitely want my guests. You never know. You never know who will slide through with the Blueprint Live. But, the MzMetchi show, the countdown is on, and I'm going to share something with y'all. I'm scared. Ooh, I'm so scared for y'all to see this project that I've been working on for 2 years. 2 years. The first pilot episode, I told y'all we shot it in September. I am like shaking in my boots for y'all to see this episode. I was like 64 pounds heavier. It was so much going on. Y'all know 2023 was the year where it was like my whole life was flipped upside down. Flip, 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 flip. Oh, baby, I took it in stride. And when I shot that pilot, I was just like, whew. I shot the show for so long. And it was like, okay, girl, get it together. And then my people came to me and they just like, girl, what are you doing? And it was really like, what are you doing? We're about to get this together. When I tell you, I looked at the first set of edits, I think it was like last week. And y'all, I just sat up there and just boo-hooed. I was crying over my Dropbox. Jesus, I was crying over my Dropbox because I was so happy. I was so excited. Like, I'm just like, I cannot believe that I'm like, this is, like, I did this. I put this together, you know. I put this together. Me, my people, like, we genuinely, like, we did that. We did that. Every guest, everyone that I'm going to announce, I'm super excited for them. I'm excited for all of us. You know, y'all know everything that I do, my efforts, it's not just for me. It's to put the people on. And that's why God gonna continue to bless it. It is. So, you know, again, I told y'all I wasn't going to hold y'all for long. I do have to take a really quick break. And when I come back, you know, of course, shout out to my sponsors. Y'all already know. But I do want you all to tell me what's going on with you too. So make sure that you drop that in the comments and we'll be right back after this break.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. Thank you so much for all of my listeners for tuning in. And now it's time for the quote of the night.
This quote, you all know the quotes of the night. I don't find them, they find me. And in light of us talking with Lisa today and with her new workbook that is, you know, baby, we got the exclusive today. Okay, Broken Pieces Made Whole workbook. Okay, your past is not your future. That is out. Okay, now officially, I cannot wait. But in light of that, I wanted to share this quote with you all because as we get ready to, you know, continue on our journeys as far as becoming whole, you know, staying whole. It's important for us to just acknowledge some things. So here's tonight's quote of the night. It's okay to not be okay. We all have our moments. Every day is not going to be perfect. Take time to acknowledge your emotions. Figure out why you feel what you feel. Take a breath. Get some rest. But just don't quit. Find the strength to keep going. You can and will get through this moment. Oh, this week, I was met with some challenges, and it's been like that. I'll say it's been that way for a little bit, where it's just been some things that have come up, and baby, they've been rolling in. I told you all, even around the time of the first brunch, it was so much, but the one thing that kept me was that I kept going. And I would just encourage that whatever you all are doing, for you to do the same. Close the gaps. Take a moment to feel. Take time for yourself. I had to do that. Y'all, my phone, I've been putting it on do not disturb or whatever the case is, because I'm just like, whatever it is, I'm not going to be able to fix it because I'm fixing me. Talk about it. Clock it. We can't keep depleting ourselves. Okay? I know somebody hear me out here. Take that time, breathe, get your rest. That's what I'm about to do. I literally told Lisa before we came on, I said tonight when I log off, I'm going to relax. And I mean that. I mean that. And if relaxing is watching TikTok, if relaxing is twinkling my toes together and playing Bejeweled or whatever it is that looks like, that's what I'll be doing. I encourage you all to do the same. Rest, rejuvenate, do it as many times as you have to. Okay. That's all that I have for you tonight. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. All of those on Facebook and YouTube. You all make sure that you follow everyone that's hyperlinked after tonight's episode. And last but not least, I have to thank my amazing guest for tonight, Ms. Lisa Jenkins. Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming back to join me. Thank you so much for, giving us the exclusive for your new workbook that's out. You know that everyone here at the Blueprint Live, we are rooting for you as always. And I cannot wait to be, just a part of the things that you have coming up and to continue to support you as another woman in business, as another sister. Like, I'm here and you have our support always, Lisa. So thank you so much for coming back to join me. Y'all listen to the Blueprint Live everywhere. If you haven't already, make sure that you're following MzMetchi and the Blueprint Media Company everywhere. Just type in @MzMetchi and @the BP Media Co. and we'll pop right up. My amazing sponsors, shout out to them. Okay, where would we be without our sponsors? Shout out to Live Long Health, excuse me, Copajn Vodka, Pretty Curvy Savage, Paris Ice Bar, and Fiya Infusions. Next Tuesday, as you all know, is a Toast to Taste. It's the Copajn experience. Okay, so we are coming together to celebrate Copajn Vodka and to really, like Potions by P, Blueprint Media Company, we are curating an experience. So I'm super excited about it. Thank you to our event partners. The MzMetchi show is out August 18th. Okay, I cannot freaking wait. And of course, the Link the Lit brunch is October 11th. Tickets and everything is going to be open soon. Like, I just, we about to get it together around here. So you all make sure that you get in tune. But until next time, y'all, bye.